It was a chilly Saturday morning when everything happened, and even now, I can replay every detail in my head. I had gone over to my best friend Emily's house to spend the weekend with her family. Emily and I had been inseparable since college. Over the years, even as we got married, had kids, and settled into busy lives, we always made time for each other. Sometimes that meant quick phone calls in the middle of chaotic afternoons, and sometimes, like this time, it meant a full weekend at her house. Emily lived with her husband Mark and their 12-year-old son Ethan. I adored their family. Whenever I visited, it felt less like staying at a friend's place and more like coming home. They had always made me feel like part of the family. That Saturday morning, Emily had to rush out early for a volunteer event she had been planning for weeks. She left me in charge of Ethan for a few hours until Mark came back from his errands. I didn't mind one bit. Ethan was a sweet kid, polite, funny, and incredibly curious about the world. I had known him since he was a baby, so looking after him felt natural. He had just woken up when Emily left, and I told him we'd make pancakes together. He lit up with excitement, and we spent the next half hour laughing over spilled flour and burnt attempts before finally getting a decent batch ready. After breakfast, Ethan settled on the couch with his sketchbook, while I went upstairs to freshen up. I remember humming to myself as I stepped into the bathroom, brushing my hair back into a bun. I had locked the door, or at least I thought I had. What I didn't realize was that the old lock on their bathroom door had a quirk. It never really latched properly unless you pulled hard. I had just finished washing my face when the door suddenly creaked open. I turned, startled, and there stood Ethan, his eyes wide as saucers. He froze in place, clearly embarrassed. "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," he blurted out, and in the same second, he backed out of the bathroom and shut the door quickly. I stood there for a moment, stunned, before bursting out laughing softly. It wasn't funny to him, I knew, but the situation was so innocent and so awkward that I couldn't help but find some humor in it. I dried my face and composed myself before stepping out of the bathroom. Ethan was standing in the hallway, red-faced, staring down at his socks. "I really didn't mean to walk in," he mumbled. I smiled warmly and crouched a little, so I could meet his eyes. "It's okay, Ethan. The lock doesn't really work on that door, did you know that?" He shook his head quickly. "I'll knock next time. Promise." "That's all you need to do," I reassured him. The awkwardness hung in the air for a moment, but I knew that if I made it a big deal, it would only embarrass him more. So, I changed the subject. "Hey, I saw your sketchbook downstairs. You've gotten so good at drawing since the last time I visited. Want to show me some of your favorite ones?" His face brightened instantly. "Really? You want to see them?" "Of course," I said, and together we walked back downstairs. For the next hour, Ethan proudly flipped through his sketches, showing me superheroes he had drawn, scenes from movies he loved, and even a few attempts at portraits. I was amazed at his talent. His lines were confident, his shading detailed. It was clear he had a gift. I encouraged him, telling him he should think about entering a local art contest. He looked at me with wide eyes, like the idea had never crossed his mind. "You think I could win something?" he asked, voice full of hope. "I don't just think you could, I know you could," I replied firmly. That seemed to spark something in him. From that moment, the awkward bathroom incident was forgotten, replaced with excitement about his art. We spent the rest of the afternoon working on a makeshift art project. I grabbed some supplies Emily had in the house, colored pencils, markers, and even some old craft paper, and we built a collage around one of Ethan's superhero characters. By the time Mark returned home, Ethan was proudly holding up his masterpiece, eager to show his dad. Mark gave me a grateful smile, clearly happy that I had kept his son so engaged. When Emily came home later, tired but happy from her volunteer event, Ethan ran straight to her with the drawing.
"Mom,
"Look what I made." And guess what? She said I could enter a contest. Emily looked at me, touched, and mouthed a quiet thank you. That night, after dinner, when everyone was winding down, Ethan came up to me again. "I'm sorry about earlier," he said softly. I smiled and put my hand gently on his shoulder. "Ethan, you don't have to keep apologizing. Things like that happen. What matters is how you handle it, and you handled it perfectly. You showed respect. He grinned, finally relieved. Later, when I lay in the guest room bed, I thought about how such a small moment, a bathroom door swinging open, had turned into something meaningful. It wasn't about the awkwardness at all. It was about trust, about teaching Ethan that mistakes happen and that respect can heal any embarrassment. The weekend turned out to be one of the most memorable visits I ever had with Emily's family. And to this day, when I think about Ethan and his art, I don't think about the bathroom incident first. I think about the way his eyes lit up when I told him he had real talent. That's what stuck with both of us. The lesson that sometimes life's little accidents can lead to unexpected encouragement, laughter, and stronger bonds.